state that on April 8th, 2022, the notices of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, the Upper Township website, mailed to the Cape County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel-Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up to and until the closed session portion of this meeting, and will be available on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct this announcement to be made a part of the minutes of this meeting. Would everyone please stand for the flag salute? Do the roll call, but Jay Newman is actually going to join us late. He's was called away on an afternoon structure fire in Upper Township, so he is fulfilling his other duties. So Barbara, please call the roll.
Here.
Here.
Present. Okay, start there with the Board of Governor bodies. Barbara, you have anything for us?
I do just have one announcement. I'd just like to announce that township offices will be closed on Friday, April 15th, in observance of the Good Friday holiday. If your trash and recycling collection falls on Friday the 15th, your household trash and recycling will be collected on Monday. That's all I have.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you, Dan. Paul, do you have anything?
Keep it moving, nothing this evening, thank you.
All right, Barbara.
I have nothing as well.
Okay, John.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I actually want to comment on resolution number 46. In our meeting of the 14th of March, there were some questions on the point of members of the public on would the position for township administrator be advertised. And at that meeting, Mr. Corson was not here. Mr. Newman was chairing the meeting. Mr. Newman specifically stated that, yes, when we do hire for a position such as that, we will most definitely advertise. Also, at that meeting, Mrs. Hayes reiterated Mr. Mr. comments and said, yes, this is something that we would most definitely advertise for. Now, Mr. Newman, welcome, I'm glad you're here.
Actually, since Jay's here, procedurally, I think we have to recall the roll.
No, just the record will reflect that Mr. Newman is joining the township committee.
Could you please do that, Barbara? Thank you. Jay, welcome aboard. Hope everything went well. All right. We're started government reports. We made it around to John and John.
So just to get caught up, I'll repeat myself for the benefit of Mr. Newman who just walked in. Mr. Newman was chairing the meeting on the 14th. Mr. Newman did say very clearly to members of the public that if we were to hire for a position for township administrator, we would go out and we would publicly advertise it. Mr. Newman, as you know, is a proud and rightly so graduate of the Military Academy of South Carolina. The Military Academy of South Carolina requires of all of its cadets to take an oath to the Honor Code, which essentially states, I will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate anyone who does. Beautiful oath. Part of that Honor Code includes obfuscating the truth or quibbling, as it's known. So I'm relatively sure that Mr. Newman will not be voting to appoint Mr. DeMarzo tonight because he has already publicly stated that prior to filling this position, he would advertise. Now, Mrs. Hayes said the same thing. Now, Mrs. Hayes, who is relatively new with our township committee, she's done a fine job so far, and she has shown plenty of integrity. She's also more or less stated that she aspires to perhaps fill the next vacancy on the county commissioner board,
I've never said that.
which would be.
Just as a point of order, I've never stated that.
No,
If you've heard a rumor, those words have never come out of my mouth, so if you're going to put words in my mouth, I would appreciate if they were factual.
I won't, and you know what, I apologize, I retract that.
Thank you.
I will say, though, that has been said, and what I was going to say was, that would be an excellent choice, because I'd hate to see the township lose a seat on the county commission. So I'm sure Mrs. Hayes is not going to vote for this, because she certainly doesn't want to give any of her integrity away. Mr. Pancoast, you and I are up for re-election, and I would say certainly, if you were to vote for this resolution, it most likely, in fact, not even most likely, I can assure you it will become a campaign issue. So I'd imagine you'll probably either abstain or not vote on this.
I tend to vote on
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
You and I have had some conversations about Mr. Morgan as our administrator, and you have told me off the record that you felt that this township has been much better off in your experience since Morgan has left.
Yes, it has.
So what I would like to do with that,
It has been better, but there is room for improvement. And there's room for improvement in every organization.
there is room for improvement in every organization. You know, when that happens, a management team, an experienced management team who is good at what they do, would never arbitrarily dismiss a fairly well-performing employee without giving that person the opportunity to make some improvements which were spelled out to you very clearly. These are the things that ultimately result in workforces unionizing. We don't have a union workforce within our township hall. But an arbitrary decision like this to dismiss a person who is performing well, who is well liked, is a real opportunity for the people in town hall to have a reason to seek the umbrella and shelter of a union and collective bargaining. Because as a management team, we demonstrate to our employees that we really don't care about them. We're going to arbitrarily make a decision that serves us best. So with that being said, at this point, I would like to make a motion to strike resolution number 46 and advertise position for township administrator, and make sure that prior to advertising, prior to interviewing, that the public is well aware of what we're doing. Something is not being snuck in at the last minute at the end of a meeting after closed session. But before I ask for a second, I'm going to ask another question. Has Mr. DeMarzo been interviewed? Has anyone interviewed Mr. DeMarzo?
I personally met with Mr. DeMarzo. Yes.
Did that go through the personnel department?
No, it didn't.
Is there any reason for that?
None of our professional contracts go through the personnel department.
No, there's no reason for you to go through.
Okay.
I
And
didn't-
when you interviewed Mr. DeMarzo?
I did not think I needed to ask you to have an interview or sit down with my schedule. If you'd like me to review my schedule on a daily basis.
I'm not talking just me, I'm talking about the personnel department in general. We have personnel people within the organization.
As far as I'm aware, do not go through personnel department, no.
Okay. You know, there's already been allegations circulating throughout the township of political payoffs. You know, we've got Parker McKay. We have Monzo, Villegas, and Catanese. We have Amy Schultz. Is this another example of that?
Where were they on an election left report as being political contributors. Because, I mean, there are campaign finance laws, so
Sure.
everyone that we hire is subject
I'm
to.
just saying these allegations, I'm not saying I made
You're not
the
saying
allegations.
that's true, you're saying they're allegations.
Alright.
So I can say that I believe in purple dinosaurs, that they exist, that doesn't mean that they're true.
Possibly.
And I think that it's irresponsible to sit up here and give voice to those allegations in a public forum.
Okay.
And I don't appreciate the insinuation there.
Okay, so at any rate, my motion is on the table, so what I'll ask first is, Mr. Pankos, can I get a second?
No.
Mr. Newman, can I get a second? Mr. Corson, can I get a second?
No, because this resolution is, the title says, is appointing Gary DeMarzo as our township administrator on a temporary basis. Temporary basis means we can start a search. He would be included in the search, our previous administrator could be in the search, anyone could be in the search. So this is a temporary basis. It's in the headline.
When we say previous administrator, has Mr. Morgan been dismissed?
I believe that that's why it's on after the closed session, because we are going to be discussing his role, which would be inappropriate to discuss here in the open.
Understood. So, hearing that this is the way we're gonna go forward with this, I would like to remind the committee of other comments that were made in the meeting of 314. They were made by a gentleman by the name of Don Worrell. And what Don Worrell challenged us with as a committee is that in this form of government, a five-member committee, each one of us is a department head. We are not required to have an administrator.
No, we're not.
And if we decide to put an administrator in place, we are also not required to have a certified administrator. Because ultimately, we have the responsibility for the administration of this township, should we choose not to abdicate our duties.
Yes, we do, John. We do have, and if you compare, which we had a comparison months ago with our municipality with other municipalities. And if you compare our municipality with other similar sized municipalities, with employee base, resident base, square miles, everything, you'll find that probably 95% of these municipalities have a full-time business administrator.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. What I'm saying is, it's a bad idea to go about this in such a haphazard way. We have plenty of time to advertise. We don't need a temporary administrator. It's not an emergency situation. So we have time to all take a beat, to perhaps do a Google search of the potential candidates and find out how this person has performed in previous occupations, previous employers, to make sure that we're not getting involved with somebody who has potential for litigation against the township.
Well, John, I mean, I appreciate your input, I respect your input. When we get to item number 46, we can actually debate it then.
Okay.
So, if you would like to move along with your comments,
I'm very much willing to move on, and I certainly regret the separation of Mr. Morgan, because he has done a tremendous job for the township.
well, that's a hypothetical that has not happened yet. So, thank you. Kim.
Mr. Mayor, no, I am.
I didn't want to step on your time, that's all.
Kim.
No, the only thing that I have to report is we had an excellent turnout for our Easter egg hunt this past Saturday. I want to say thank you to Larry Cole, our EMS department, Public Works, for all stepping up to make that such a phenomenal event. I also want to thank Deputy Mayor Newman and Committeeman Pankos for being there in my stead. I had a family engagement out of town. And that is all I have to report.
Mark.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mark. Jay.
A couple, Mr. Mayor.
Tell us about how you're firing. Everybody okay?
I apologize, there was injuries at the.
That's a good thing.
A single minor that was out on Seaside Avenue. We had, as as per our pre-plan, everything worked out the way it could be. I'm gonna, usually I don't report on this stuff, but since it happened while I was late, we want to thank the Public Works Department. We have a great relationship with the Public Works Department, which allows in situations like this in the daytime when we're short-handed, there are workers that are not engaged in a safety-specific activity to be able to come out and fight the fire. That was actually what happened today. We also had the ability to, because these township fire companies and EMS and rescue squad work so well together. For example, one of our township employees is also the chief of the Tuckahoe Fire Company, was in Marmore's area at the time, and actually because they're trained, cross-trained, he was able to drive one of our engines to fire, which just makes for a more smooth, efficient operation, which is what we were after. That being said, we had very, we also, at the time of the incident, we were actually placing our ladder truck up to blow bubbles. Pecos was there, EMS was all fine and dandy, and we probably would have made arrangements in some way, shape, or form to avoid that. There happened to be a fire in our area. Gotta go. So, and this was a previous engagement that was canceled on April 5th. So let's move to today because of rain. I also, not to get into it right now, I had I see all the people from Misty Meadows here, and I'm sure we're going to hear about that later, but just so you know, they put on, I had the opportunity to attend an event last weekend out there. It was absolutely fabulous, well attended, fantastic operation, clean, great. Vendors there, had to be 300, 400, 500 people there at one point or another. I spoke with Mr. Senator about it. He was very happy with everything that was going on that particular day. Very good. And ironically, that event I had to leave again for an incident that occurred. Everybody heard about the unfortunate accident that occurred right here on Tuckahoe Road between Butter Road and Church. People want to know why the road was closed down for 5 hours. It takes a while to investigate these incidents, and unfortunately, everybody knows a township resident passed away in the incidents. And once again, our system, as tragic as the event was, we did a great job. All three fire companies and the division of EMS worked together to mitigate that incident, and as best we could, and no injuries to responders. So that's what's going on in the public safety world, nonstop.
Well, thank you, Jake. The only thing I have to report is earlier today I met with Ralph Cooper from the Green Team, and sometime in May on our agenda, I would like to have our Green Team, I have a resolution to reestablish the Green Team. I guess that went expired last June and has not been reappointed, so I think it's, I'm going to be looking for input from my colleagues here, for members of the Green Team. People who can, I'd like to make it a well-rounded residents from Upper Township. I think it's part of our sustainable growth and all that. We need to meet criteria through the state, so I think it's very important we have a Green Team. And we're going to establish some guidelines and agendas and try to move that forward for a positive note for Upper Township. That's all I have at this time. So we'll move on with the agenda there, Barbara, please.
First, I'd like to ask if anyone has any of the items, 1 to 22 resolution items, that anyone would like to move anything outside of the consent agenda.
I'd like to pull out item number 19.
Okay. So we'll have discussion on that later, but the rest of the consent items, 1 through 18, and then 20 through 22, I guess we'll vote on them with the consent agenda.
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda with the exception of item number 19.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Mayor Forte?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, I guess we're back to item 19.
All right, well, first, I'd like to ask that we read the resolution for item 19.
Okay. Amending resolution number 13, 2022, with respect to the procedure to be followed at regular meetings of the Township Committee. Township Committee adopted resolution number 13, 2022, setting forth the procedure to be followed at regular meetings of the Township Committee, and now wishes to amend that procedure and resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Humber in the County of Cape May in the State of New Jersey as follows. The allegations of the preamble are incorporated herein by this reference. Any member of the Township Committee is hereby authorized to attend and participate in a meeting of the Township Committee remotely or electronically for any reason. This resolution shall be effective immediately.
We've had a number of requests from the public to be able to continue remote meetings. This very body has turned that down. I'm a little bit curious as to how this developed and why we would have requirement or need for committee members to attend the meeting remotely.
Well,
We all understand that there are times when we can't be in attendance. We have personal obligations, we may have illnesses, we may have family obligations, we may have work obligations, we may have vacations. However, as elected officials, we have committed to attendance at these meetings. Now, if we are going to do this and allow remote attendance, then the public should most certainly be entitled to the same opportunities. I'm not quite sure where this resolution got started or how it even got on the agenda, because we really haven't had any discussion of it. So, if anybody can fill me in on this, I'd certainly be appreciative.
I'll be happy to fill you in, John. It was on the agenda, a request of mine, because as you eloquently put earlier, I missed a meeting because of my vacation that I planned in November. And I didn't look forward in the calendar, otherwise I would not have planned it. We had a final on an ordinance for a repurposing of bond, which we had bond council advertised, it was publicized, it was everything. And there was a lot of work put into that. And as you know, it takes 4 votes to pass a bond ordinance. As you know, you abstained. So thousands of dollars of work got to start over again. So inadvertently, you were the cause of this.
So what my request would be to amend this ordinance to also allow members of the public have the opportunity to attend and speak at a township meeting if they are in the same situation, similar situation, where they have something that they feel is important that they have to say, or they want to say, or they want to get in front of the committee.
I tend to agree with you, John, but when we had Zoom meetings and all that before, we had people weighing in, and when we'd ask your address, which seems to be a questionable practice now, because I've seen emails where people don't want to give their address, but it'd be nice if they would at least inform us they lived in Upper Township. We had people calling from Newark, Patterson, everywhere on the planet that seemed to think Upper Township would be a good place for a marijuana or a head shop. So I think we demonstrated that Zoom meetings coming from out of our municipality are not really a productive thing of our time or our abilities.
We've also had people, public meetings, who are not from Upper Township, who choose to speak or not comment.
Yes.
And they also have the right and are entitled to do that.
Yes.
However, I don't think it's fair to residents of Upper Township to deny them the ability to have their public comment, have their say before committee, see what's going on at the meetings.
The meetings are recorded and posted on the website, so they can always see what's going on. I agree that it would be, great if we could work out there where we have people in the room and people able to attend virtually, but we haven't been able to demonstrate that successfully.
Well, actually, it has worked pretty successfully. Your first person.
No, but that was with everyone remote. I'm talking with people here and people attending remote. We haven't been able to demonstrate that successfully. So while I agree with you that that is something that we should work towards, I think that it's important that we move on this resolution as it stands today and work towards that down the road. So I'm going to make a motion that we move on resolution number 19.
I think we could also, I want to make a motion to amend that motion, saying that we will strike a date.
Point of order.
You have a motion and a second.
There was a motion and a second, John, so that has to be acted on first.
Got it.
Dr. Coggins?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panion?
Yes.
Mayor Corson?
Yes.
And I'll follow that up with a motion that we strike a date, that we can have time when we can add public to this ordinance.
Do you have a date or just an arbitrary date?
No, I don't. I want to make a motion that we come up with a date. And I would say that date should be no longer than 90 days after this ordinance goes into effect.
I'm not horrified with that. That gives us an time to check our equipment, make sure our equipment is able to do that, and it would give us a challenge.
So can I take that as a second?
That's a second.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, that was some good discussion. Okay, Barbara, we're back to you.
I'm going to back up to item number 23 on the agenda.
Yes.
Public hearing on final adoption of ordinance number 7, an ordinance amending revised general ordinance, chapter 7 and 7A of the Code of Upper Township.
Okay, this is the public hearing, for ordinance number 7, 2022. Is there anybody in the public that would like to comment? Well, just for the record, this ordinance is for the parking issue on Neptune, sorry. For 3 hours of no parking on Neptune Avenue. It gives our lifeguards an opportunity to get there, park their vehicles, and report to work, so they don't have to report to work an hour and a half, 2 hours early to find a parking spot in Strathmere. It's not meant to take away parking spots in Strathmere. It is actually meant to get our employees a parking spot. So if anybody would like to comment on this ordinance number 7 of 2022. We did have an email comment from a surfer who was opposed to it, since we haven't, everybody's been copied that. But this ordinance was put in place to be fair for our employees. Nobody should have to report to 2 hours early to work to get a parking spot. So, somebody like to entertain a motion to
I'll make that motion that we adopt ordinance number 7, 2022.
Second.
Barbara, will you please call a roll?
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panion?
Yes.
Mayor Corson?
Yes.
Carried.
And what is the appeal period on this, Dan? It's we have like 45 days before we can actually strike the court?
They sit the signs up.
Okay. And this is only from Memorial Day to Labor Day, so we want to identify the parking spots and signage, so.
24,
Yes.
public hearing on final adoption of ordinance number 11, 2022, and ordinance amending revised general ordinance, chapter 9, section 4, titled Program of the Code of Upper Township.
Is there anybody in the public that would like to address this? An ordinance number 11 of 2022, and this is to establish boat ramp fees. Hearing no public input, we will close the public portion of ordinance number 11 of 2022, and ask for a motion to adopt.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 11, 2022.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Motion is carried. In favor. Item number 25, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 12, 2022, and ordinance vacating a portion of Ocean Crest Avenue within the township of Upper County of Cape May in the state of New Jersey. And if you move forward with this, we've got a public hearing on May 9th.
What's the date of the public hearing?
May 9th.
I would like to make a motion that we introduce ordinance number 12, 2022, with public hearing and final adoption scheduled for May 9th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox? Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 26, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 13, 2022, and ordinance amending ordinance number 12, 2020, known as the salary ordinance for the calendar year 2021. And again, the public hearing on this will be May 9th.
Yes. Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 13, 2022, with a public hearing and final adoption scheduled for May 9th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Carries. 27, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 14, 2022, and ordinance revising job classifications and titles and amending chapter 5 entitled Personnel of the Code of Upper Township.
Make a motion that we introduce ordinance number 14 of 2022.
Second.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor
Oh,
Corso?
yes. Sorry. I'm sorry. Used to being fourth.
Motion is carried.
Sorry about that.
Item number 28, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 15, 2022, and ordinance amending ordinance number 18, 2021, known as the salary ordinance for the calendar year 2022, and as well with this one, the public hearing will be May 9th.
I'll make a motion that we introduce ordinance number 15 of 2022.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Motion is carried. All in favor? Move on down to the resolutions we acted on separately again. Item number 29, designating certain Strathmere beach areas in the township of Upper as a surfing beach and a catamaran sailboat beach, and setting the lease include boat ramp fees for the 2022 summer season.
Move that resolution.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
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 Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Carried. Number 30, urging the Cape May County Board of Commissioners to support local farms and agriculture in Upper Township.
Just for the record, I have to abstain from this. I actually have a farm in Upper Township, and I have a business relation with other farmers pertaining to this resolution.
Move the resolution.
I'll second it.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Motion is carried with 4 in favor and 1 abstention. Item number 13, Parish of St. Maximilian Colby requests use of a Strathmere Beach at East Williams Road for a feast day mass and celebration on August 14th, 2022.
I'll move that we approve it.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
Motion is carried. In favor. Item number 32, Parish of St. Maximilian Colby request to hold raffle 546 on Strathmere Beach at East Williams Road on August 14th, 2022.
I move that we allow.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Panther?
Yes.
Mayor Mayor Corson?
Yes.
Carried. 33, New Jersey Surf Soccer Club requests use of Tyler Davis Field, Amanda's Field, and Old Tuckahoe Road Field for Copa Surf New Jersey Soccer Tournament on June 18, 2022, and June 19, 2022.
All the proper documentation.
Yep, all there, motion to approve.
Second.
Question, this is obviously a soccer tournament, is it Upper Township residents, is there use fees?
Yeah, there is use fees, yes.
Okay.
And there was a check submitted with the application.
Mr. Powers?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Pankey?
Yes.
Mayor Corson?
Yes.
Carried. Item number 34, under discussion, grant letter of interest for Bayview Drive Living Shoreline Resiliency Project.
Paul, would you like to?
Yeah, this is, we saw a grant opportunity. We had applied a couple different times to do some resiliency planning out, kind of extend the living shoreline on Baby Drive from our boat ramp. We were made aware of another grant opportunity, and the grant period is already open. I think it closes at the first week in May. This is a letter of interest that I've drafted to extend the living shoreline about 1,200 linear feet, and this would help fund the engineering and permitting part of that. And that's really the hardest part to get some of the other grants for construction. You kind of have to have the plan in place to do the work. This would really set us up to do some additional work throughout the township at some other resiliency projects.
It's actually a very good program, and thank you, Paul, for getting that off for us. Does anybody have any questions for us? Do we have to do anything, Dan, or just?
Yeah, we need a motion to authorize you, or for me to submit the grant, and then there's a waiver. There's some other information that you have to
Sign.
sign, so we should do a resolution.
Right?
Yeah, we should have a resolution at the next meeting.
Okay. So I guess I'm asking for a motion to be entertained for that?
I'll make, second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Powers?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Pankey?
Yes.
Mayor Corson?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 35, Upper Township First Responder Kidney Camp.
Okay, if myself and Committeewoman Hayes have been working with the Upper Township Division of EMS, led by our full-time EMTs, colleagues, one of our recent hires, and the Upper Township Chiefs Association. One of the what we're trying to do is put together, years ago, we ran a fire camp, and we kind of stopped out in COVID, and we attempted to put together we wanted to have something additional for kids. It's probably a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more community oriented, not just the fire and EMS activities, there'll be plenty of that, a little bit more active, or more interactive, and we wanted to hold it during the day, and get kids to sign up for it, our local kids to sign up for it. So obviously, there's a lot of things that go on, that we're working with Cape Assist, as well as potentially MAC, Municipal Alliance Committee, working with several local businesses. We are in the process of getting our local, our insurance all squared away with it, forms filled out and approved, waivers, the whole nine yards, and securing facilities, transportation, and events for the kids to participate in. In fact, I talked to Mr. Silverman last week about possibly visit the farm as being one of the events that the kids would be able to attend. So this is all stuff that we're trying to work with local community and bring some kids out and expose them to a little bit of boot camp. So, am I missing anything?
No, it's partnership with Cape Assist, like you said, and a big part of their program, for those of you who don't know about Cape Assist, is substance abuse. So these are kids that would be at risk for those, those kinds of issues. To get them out, help them build confidence, give them some life skills in addition to having some fun. So it's a pretty cool program, and we're excited to be able to bring it to Upper Township.
And I don't know if we can have Kyle coming out, Mayor for
No.
okay.
Just for the record.
If I may just clarify the administrative end of it. As I understand it, the Division of EMS is coordinating the program with those other entities as participants, but the primary responsibility is the Division of EMS. So we don't need facility use, we don't need any of those type of things. What we do need is obviously the paperwork filled out for waivers and indemnifications and the insurance in place with Heist. Any donations, if they are to the township, have to go through the fund for recreation. If the donations are accepted and expended by the individual charities that are participating or other entities, fire districts, whatever, then they'll take care of them as long as it doesn't come into township hands.
That's,
I
it'll be an in and out, in and out.
If everybody understands that, and nobody has any questions, you may want to motion authorizing the camp,
Yeah,
based on those requirements.
I'll make a motion to authorize the camp based on the requirements as stated by the solicitor.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
yes, yes.
Mayor Corso?
Yes.
And I'd like to just thank Kyle one more time for all his efforts to bring this here. He really did step up and spearheaded this and brought it to us, which was really great.
Thank you.
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated in the full minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Yes.
Yes. We do have municipal department reports available in our clerk's office tomorrow, in our clerk's office, construction code, division of BMS, finance, MUA, public works, and the tax collection. So that'll all be available tomorrow, if anybody would like to peruse through that. Motion to accept.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. At this portion of the meeting, we will open it to the public comment. Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment? Please come forward to the podium and state your name. And you don't have to give your street address, but just the town name would be fine.
Sure. So my name's Juliette Schlechter. I serve as the vice president of the Strathmere Improvement Association in Strathmere and live there. I just wanted to share an event that we hosted a week ago on April 2nd that was just a great collaborative effort across the township. So Mayor Corson joined us on that morning to begin planting native plants in the dunes to prevent erosion of the beach. These are all beach plum native plants that were supplied from another Upper Township business, Jalma Farms.
It was actually a Dennis Township business.
Oh, Dennis Township?
Years ago,
I'm
when
sorry.
Upper Township was formed, it was part of Upper Township, but since then,
Okay.
in the early 1800s, Dennis
I haven't
Township became
relocated
its own
her.
municipality.
Terrific. Stand corrected. But Alma George did donate 100 saplings. We had a great participation of Strathmere residents who are part of the Strathmere Improvement Association, but we were also joined by Chief Bill Hanley from the lifeguards, and 6 of his lifeguards helped alongside of us. And Paul Dietrich was wonderful in supplying the soil that we needed and getting that delivered to us in a timely way. And then the Upper Township
Not to correct you again. Public Works brought the soil.
All right, not Paul personally. Paul helped me coordinate
Yes.
it. All right, I'm going to clear all these notes in
They
ahead
did
of
a
time.
great job working together.
Awesome.
Teamwork.
So working together with Public Works, Paul Dietrich supported that effort completed by Public Works. And then also collaborating with Ralph Cooper from the Upper Township Green Team in identifying this project. So just wanted to let you know that, we were so enthused to do this. We'd like to continue this effort every fall and spring. There's a lot of beach to cover, but we know that this will be a successful way to not only prevent erosion, but also support our natural habitat. The beach plums are a great source of seed for our birds.
Well, actually,
Thank you.
at the Beach Plum Planning, Jay Alma Farms and I had a conversation. And yes, the planning works well, it does work, but we also talked about, I grow beach plums, we cull fruit, we have bad fruit. Some of the fruit seeds, it all has pits in it, we've used for seed beds and to establish plantings. And we actually, I had a conversation with Alma, because you can only use so much of it. And we talked about maybe trying to cast just seeds on the beach. And if they survive the winter in their natural environment and they actually grow in the sand, it's probably more effective, it might be more effective than, so, like the Johnny Appleseed approach. Yes.
Yes, Bill Zimmerman, owner of Misty Meadows Sheep Dairy in Petersburg, New Jersey. I guess what I have to present to the committee members here is the fact that, you know, it's kind of devastating what happened to my farm. Everybody knows this story. I built this thing in the last 7 years, dumped millions of dollars into this to make something good for the community. It's about building up farms and helping young farmers in the country and in New Jersey. If you turn around and look at all the farmers, you look at Tony Castagna, you look at Andy, you look at everybody in the community, we're all over the hill. There is no young farmers left. You know, Kurt says he has to step down. I believe that, but I need him to step up to the challenge. Okay, the problem doesn't exist. The problem exists in the bureaucracy that we have. The Cape May County Health Department, within 5 minutes' time, destroyed my entire business. I'm done. I am absolutely done. You might not think that, but I am. You know, my wife sits at home and takes cancellation after cancellation, listens to parents call her and tell her that their kids are sick. There's never been any testing done at my farm. There's never been any proof that this exists in my farm. What they say, this crypto has been, it's in pools, it's in swimming pools. You know, most of the campgrounds have probably had their pools shut down because of crypto. It's all over, it's in everything. There's no proof that it is at my farm. There's no proof of any of this. So again, in 5 minutes, they've destroyed my business. We sell sheep genetics, which we built at this farm. Not too many people know what I actually do there. We milk sheep and we build genetics for young farmers in the country. How we can make that work is we need the sheep to produce more milk, so the less cost for the farmer. And this is a job I took on in the country. Okay? I cannot sell a sheep now because everybody thinks I have a disease at my farm. It's all social media. They've killed me, and I will not. I don't have enough time in my life to rebuild what they did. So I'm asking you as committeemen for small business in this entire community that we have here, as small as it is, which we started out as farmers here. You know, Kurt, your family was farmers. They built this community, all right? We can't step down. We got to fix this. How are we going to fix this? How are you guys going to help me? You know, I sat here in the first 20 minutes of this meeting, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed of the haggling and unprofessional approach you guys have to business. You need to do that somewhere else, not in front of us. All right? There's more and better fish to fry in this community than that. All right? Me, myself, I'm done. I don't have a business anymore. People want to come. People say they would love to come. We love you. But maybe we'll come next year when your problem's gone. What problem? I don't have a problem. But somebody sitting in the health department decided that they don't want to get sued for any reason at all, and they killed me. So, again, I hope that more than a resolution, more than that, we can help young farmers in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Would it help if we sent a letter to the health department requesting they have testing? And can verify what they said, or would that be detrimental?
That isn't the issue. I've already done that. I've spent, but I haven't got the information back. Okay, I did it privately. I sent everything to Cornell University. But even if it does come back positive, we don't test swimming pools. We don't test Lake Nummi, shut down for 6 months a few years ago. They don't test that. It's a normal thing. You get diarrhea and it goes away. It is. It's a normal thing. The problem exists. The system stinks. You go to the doctor, the first thing they ask you is, have you been around livestock? They don't ask you if you've been to a pool. Have you been to a daycare? Have you been out here? Whatever. Everybody in this county has had a stomach virus in the last 2 months.
County zoo.
Yes, they don't ask that. But it's pretty amazing how the county zoo knew about this email that they sent before I even did. The health department didn't even give me the courtesy of showing me anything. They have yet called me and said that, oh, you had this many cases and this many cases and maybe this many sick. I wanted to be proactive. I don't want anybody to get sick. Me and my wife were devastated by this if somebody did get sick there. But the whole system stinks. They asked me for my email list. We gave them over 4,000 emails to be proactive. And the reason we did that, if they got a case, they could look at that and say those people were there, or contact them. You know what they did with that? They turned around and sent it to everybody and said, if you have a sniffly nose, runny nose, headache, diarrhea, and you were at Misty Meadow Sheep Dairy, go to the doctor right now. How many lawsuits do you think I'll have in the next 6 months? I'm done. I'm done. So again, it's not that. It's the fact that somebody sitting in an office, probably working remote, on a vacation somewhere, decided that, oh, we need to protect ourselves because we can't be involved with this and we can't have a lawsuit against us. So again, I just ask you guys to be better at this, and maybe we can correct it in the future for some young farmer who can't take this hit. Because again, young farmers can't take this hit. I've been in here arguing for this farm for 7 years, and every one of you seen me here, arguing with nuisance neighbors, and everybody doesn't want this, and not that, the county doesn't, this, that, whatever. It's a struggle, and we have to do something about that.
As a body, we'd like to help you. Do you have any suggestions as to how we can do that? Is there something that we can do immediately that would be of assistance to you in clearing this matter up?
I don't know what that is. Maybe some type of a letter to the county asking them for the reasoning behind this. Why did you do this? I wanted to be proactive, and I gave them this email list, and I told them right there in front of them. Again, that's me being an honest person. Everybody said you don't do that, but I just wanted to be proactive, and they said they wouldn't do anything with that until we figured out what was going on. They didn't spend 5 minutes looking at it, and they mailed that out in 5 minutes. But again, I just want, and then Congressman Van Drew called them, talked to them and everything, probably slapped somebody on the back, bad boy, whatever, and they were supposed to do an apology. Everybody probably saw it on the news, in the papers and all that, you know how news people get that. The first heading, Misty Meadow Sheep Dairy shuts down because of crypto. That's what people read. And again, it's just devastating. We mailed out $15,000 worth of refund checks last week for this weekend. April's our month. It's when we make our money. And then again, who's going to come? People even think that my cheese is tainted because of this. All of our products, our ice cream, whatever. It's insanity just because of one person. And how do we fix this? And that's what I asked Mayor Corson to not be out of the picture and try to help us get through this, because we need to help farmers in the community. Thank you.
Bill, I don't want to be out of the picture, but I want to help you, and I have helped you, and I will continue
You
to help you.
definitely have, and I can call you whenever I need anything, and you can call me. That's how it works. That's how farmers work.
Yes. And if anybody hasn't been to this farm, it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we hear. I did this video online. 575 people responded, right? Everybody said, oh, it's beautiful, it's a great place, we're going to support this whole thing, it's great, but maybe we'll come next year. I don't blame them. Would you take your grandkids to a place that says there might be something there they're going to get sick?
Yes.
No. Yeah, you would, I would, because we have farms. Most people wouldn't. They just won't, and we don't blame them for that.
Bill, I just want to weigh in. So, it's no secret that most people here, I work in healthcare. So I'm very familiar with cryptosporidium, and everybody knows that there's been a stomach virus going around for months, and that's probably what it is. It probably has just been undiagnosed. I'm reading in the paper that there's several cases in Atlantic County that are unrelated. They've never been to Misty Meadow Sheep Farm. I find it disappointing that the health department didn't even take the step to come and test any of your animals, to see if there was something going on there. Specifically because, like you said, this is more likely transmitted through water. It's waterborne. It's hand to mouth. Did those two people that got it initially, did they share a water bottle? Because maybe that's how it happened. Especially, I know there's, some of your employees are here, they're not showing any signs and symptoms, and they're around those animals all day, every day.
Yeah, Brittany has after birth and poop on her.
And she loves every minute, right?
Constantly, and,
Right.
She's an asset to me. I treat her like a daughter.
Right. My bigger concern with the health department is, if this was truly an outbreak of something that was really dangerous in the community, they failed. Because they didn't identify it correctly, they didn't research to find where the source was, they didn't notify the right people, they just, not only did they damage your business, but they really didn't protect public health, which is their primary goal. So, I think that, maybe if we did send a letter asking them to investigate it a little further, and what was the process, what was the next step of their investigation after they sent those emails? Did they just leave it there? Did they just drop it at that point?
I think a lot of the problems exist, the fact that we are not in a farming community. We all know that Cape May County has left the farming community. We're really looking forward to our new ag agent. I sit on the board of ag, is a agro-tourism person, and we brought her in special. We've been working on this for 5 years, I have been, and she's an agro-tourism person, and we're going to put together a trail in Cape May County to bring people here, something they can do when they're not at the beach. But I really feel that there needs to be a liaison or a bridge connection between Department of Health, local municipalities. You guys have the same problems here in your zoning. You have the same problems because the zoning officer doesn't know the farm laws. And what I was going through, again, this is all about the same point. We need a liaison. We need somebody that sits on the Ag Development Board or something that is a farmer that knows the system, maybe it's even me, that can link the gap between the health department and all these other municipalities when they do have an issue like this, so that they can go to them and give them the farmer's side of the story and what the impact would be on that farmer, or not even that farmer, or maybe it's a campground or whatever. It's the farm. You need to have somebody in there that knows something about that, and that might be a help somewhere.
I think part of the problem, like you said, we've been 5 years without a county ag agent, and that's part of the problem too. And hopefully that person should be the bridge.
Yeah, but that's hard to do with what we've created now, Kurt, because our new county ag person is what we felt in this community. We didn't need somebody that worked with animals. We didn't need somebody that worked with crops. We need somebody to help businesses like myself, the wineries, and all the other people, the farms, and bring agro-tourism to Cape May County. And that's the person we hired. She's an agro-tourism professional.
And that's where the farming industry in Cape May County is headed.
It is, it has to be. Because again, there's me and Tony Castagna and Andy, we're a dying breed. And after that goes, there's not going to be a road stand. Nobody else will do this and put up with this aggravation and dump so much money into it. So maybe that's something we can work on, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could ask questions, something, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is that I don't know how I can fix my problem. There's no way for me to fix my problem.
Well, hopefully the public comes out and supports you. Yeah, Jim, if you... That was COVID, we put that out there.
I just like to say one
Jim,
thing.
I know who you are. Could you please state your name and your local town, please?
No. You all know who I am, so we'll just go keep it there. Jim Schroeder, all right? The problem is when you have a regulatory agency, not just the health department, without checks and balances, you end up creating a power that is dictatorial in nature, which believes that they can do whatever they wish and they're not going to be harmed. I've seen scenarios, I've talked to Jay, we have all been there. Anytime they come at us, a regulatory agency, and we question what they're doing, next thing you know, they're coming right back at us 10 times harder to shut us up because we shouldn't, correct them or say that we're right or wrong. So the whole scenario, we can cut through the chase and this and that. The basic bottom line is this. The health department was totally wrong in what they did. If they thought there was a problem, they should have shut the farm down and tested. Why didn't they close out, dogs can carry it. Why didn't they close down these animal shelters or the pet shops or the zoo or people that have chickens? No, it's ridiculous. It is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. And the health department is directly responsible for this, and they will not say they're wrong because their attorney is saying, don't say you're wrong because that opens up to a liable suit. So what they're going to attempt to do is going to throw smoke and mirrors and do whatever they can to try to justify and rationalize what they have done and they are wrong. Their best approach right now is saying, let's test the farm before they go any further and leave it at that. And if everything's fine with the farm, they come with a gigantic press release, the farm is fine, we made a mistake, let it go away. And I'm sure people would accept that. But because of their dictatorial arrogance, they won't do it. And that is the problem we have right now. And I've seen it a million times. I've been here a long time, and I have a lot of businesses, and I've dealt with these people forever. Sometimes good. You get one of these arrogant a-holes up there, and they just think nobody can touch them. They try to ruin people, and this is what they've done now. This isn't just like spending money for an extra sewer permit or something like that. They've annihilated a man. They've annihilated a business. They ruined someone. So what do you do about it? Say, oh, that's fine, let's just do that. No. I believe this committee should get up, have some gonads, and go after him. Say, hey, what's the deal? Don't sit there and do resolutions and stuff. Hit him. Hit him where it hurts. Tell him the truth. That's what I think should be done. And that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Jim. All right. This will. Is there anybody else in the public who would like to comment?
Hi, Barbara Murphy, Leary, Seville. Just wanted to follow up. First of all, Misty Meadows, been there, love it. Just was at an event, a birthday party in March, wedding last fall. It's fabulous. I commented on the post, and I wish you all the best of luck. And if you need a community rally, just reach out to me. We'll organize. We'll do some kind of stunt, PR stunt. That's my background is public relations and marketing. So feel free to call me, Barbara and Billy. So. Anyway, it's a community. We're all a community. We need to work together. I'm standing up today because less than a month ago, I stood in front of you, Mayor, you were out of town, and asked about the new administrative position. And I was told it wasn't a job description. It was a placeholder in the event that you ever needed to hire that position. And it wasn't an immediate plan. I don't know what happened in 4 weeks that made it so immediate. But when I saw that the resolution was listed, I thought to myself, what's going on here? Is there a lack of communication here? A lack of communication between you as the committee members? But I certainly feel that, I want to say this the right way, that you didn't communicate with me in an open way, because now here we are, you're hiring somebody, appointing somebody. I was told specifically, and got very, very specific about hiring and appointing. You said that I was told the township the committee has the right to appoint when they're from within. They will, and I asked, will you post a job if you're going to hire somebody? And you said yes. So when I saw that you're appointing somebody, and although it's temporarily, I'm still questioning. I don't know the candidate. I'm almost certain they're not from within this organization. Why are you not at least posting a temporary position if you feel it's so immediate? My goal is to have open communication. And then when I stand up here and you speak, how do I believe what you're saying if 4 weeks later, that conversation seems not to exist anymore? We need to trust you, have faith in what you say. So can you please give me an answer? What's changed?
Your questions were regarding the assistant administrator position, and that nothing's happened with that.
I think that we're getting, I think
That
that you're.
was the question, that was it. We've had the township administrator position that's been established, that's nothing.
We understand, I understand there's 2 positions that you're doing, and but I was told there was no immediate need, that you would post the jobs. I don't, if it was an administrative assistant, whatever, you said there would be, the job would be posted, you had the right to appoint if it came from within. I don't think it gets drilled down to the level that you're talking right now. I think that I don't want wordplay here. I want the truth.
Well, the truth.
What changed?
The truth is, I wasn't at the meeting.
I know.
But this is on the agenda.
I know, but it was less than 4 weeks ago. I've been at every meeting. I get up and speak, and I come to you as saying, we're on the same side. We're here to make our community better. We're in this together. We want this to be the best possible place to live. But when I ask a question, I've been given an answer, and then 4 weeks later, that answer seems not to be true.
Well, I don't think anybody here doesn't want this to be the best community it could be.
I agree. Well, that's not the point of the question.
Well,
The
that's-
point is, what changed? Why are we now having somebody being temporarily appointed when there was no immediate need? Any job, unless it came from within, would be posted. I know that Blanche Adams, representative of the Upper Township Business Association, got up right after me and asked, she was hoping that the job would be posted because there's a lot of wonderfully qualified people in this community that would like that opportunity. And I'm not hearing any answers. And then to sit there, and at the beginning, it was a sort of an eye-opener, because there's obviously a lack of communication among committee members, but when Mr. Coggins floated the idea, I guess weight on it, or appointed, or I can't remember, it was just a lot of conversation up there. Mr. Pancoast, Mr. Newman, Ms. Hayes, and Mayor, you all said no, and that was extremely disappointing. So I don't know, you're not answering me. I guess you don't have an answer. I don't know how we can believe what you say as a community if you're not going to be able to give me an answer. So that's my statement. And Billy, I hope to God that when you go up there and you ask them to help you, and they say they will, that something will be done. Because at this point, I'm not sure what's the truth anymore. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Blanche Adams, 330 Woodbine Road, Steelmantown, representing the Upper Township Business Association. I have a question on 2 resolutions. On item number 30 on the agenda, you passed a resolution urging the Cape May County Board of Commissioners to support local farms and agriculture in Upper Township. And I'm not sure what that means, so as I was reading that, I thought, well, what kind of jurisdiction does the Board of Commissioners have, and why do they need you to urge them to support us? So if you could just kind of give me the background on that?
Barbara, or could you actually, or Dan, do you want to?
That received a request, I think it was from Mr. Pancoast, to have this resolution. It involves Mr. Zimmerman's farm, and they wanted to express support for it.
Oh, so it's specific to Misty Meadows resolution?
Specifically state Mr. Zimmerman's farm, but it alludes to the situation.
The county commissioners oversee the Department of Health, so we would like them to look into the Department of Health and what happened there.
Can you read the resolution, or is it lengthy? I mean, that's one of the problems, we don't see the resolutions until. I mean, after you pass it, it's usually on the website, right? So, yeah, I was just confused, because there's the Ocean City Winery situation going on, and then there's Zimmerman's, and then
You're
there's
comparing
this.
apples with bananas.
Okay, well, we don't know that based on what's on the agenda, so you're urging them to support local farms and agriculture in Upper Township.
Clearly from the Ocean City Winery situation.
Okay. All right, so I'll read that, I guess.
You had another resolution, you had a question?
Yes, I do. So this is the resolution 1322 about the attending remotely. So my question on that is, if the committee member attends remotely, will you be, does the resolution require that you attend the whole meeting, or do you just pop in for the vote and then leave?
No, it would be the whole meeting, from the beginning, from roll call, all the way to the end.
Okay, that's good, because there's a lot of public comment before those votes, so that's good. My last comment, it concerns Scott Morgan and the situation that you're going to be speaking about in closed session. I've known Scott Morgan and dealt with Scott as a business colleague back to his Ocean City days. He's always been a great representative of Upper Township, so I was really surprised to see that on the agenda. I have never heard anything. I've never heard it from the committee that there's a problem, and then all of a sudden he's being replaced. And then that comes after all the discussion about the assistant business administrator and the $100,000 plus benefits that's now in our budget, our 3-cent tax increase budget in Upper Township as a placeholder. And it seems to be not a coincidence. And I know that Ms. Hayes, you say that the discussion was on the assistant administrator, but it just seems pretty funny to me that we had that discussion and now you're replacing Scott when, you know, I know that we're not privy to personnel matters, but I just enjoyed working with Scott. I just want to go publicly and say that Scott supported all of the Business Association events that we had, and I really enjoyed working with him. And I do feel like maybe I wasn't dealt with truthfully when I asked about that position and said that our members would like to apply for the assistant administration position. Our members would like to apply for the business administrator position. We have a lot of qualified people in our community, and I'm surprised that you went outside of our community to bring someone in, and I just have a bad feeling about this whole thing and how it went down, and I just wanted to publicly
Blanche,
say
like the
that.
resolution says, is on a temporary basis. It was a management decision. Obviously, there will be an opportunity to advertise and fill the position from time to time on a less than temporary basis.
Do you have a timeline for that, for the posting of the new position of business administrator?
It's technically not open yet, that's
So it'll be open after you,
Can't really-
tonight, after you separate from Scott, and then you're appointing the new person temporarily, and what's the time frame for a temporary position?
So it could be posted tomorrow.
Well,
Could be
Is
posted
everybody feel
tomorrow.
comfortable with posting it tomorrow?
well, we're not going to go there right now, John. Thank you.
Okay.
The resolution, I think, is just temporary, and it does have a time constraint in it, yes.
What is the time frame?
Philippine, temporary basis, it would obviously be, I guess, there's no drop dead date in it, but I think it was, I would say January 1, if it's as it's written to that. It's an annual
So by
appointment.
January 1?
It's an annual appointment. But that being said, this is a temporary position, but the administrator is an annual appointment.
Okay, so the term, I guess, would be, it would be up January 1st, you would be looking at a
Let me correct that, the township administrator by our ordinance, and which is permitted under state statute, they serve at the pleasure of the township committee. There's a requirement for 3 months' notice or 3 months' severance, but there's not an annual appointment that requires you to serve a year.
Okay.
Sorry, just wanted to clarify that.
So will the resolution have, so after you pass that resolution tonight, and it'll probably be on the website tomorrow, will that have the dates in it? Like when we could expect that permanent position to be posted?
That wouldn't go in a resolution, the dates wouldn't be,
The resolution was prepared by Labor Council. I think it was in consultation with Mr. Gorson, Mayor Gorson. There is no time frame in the resolution.
But
So it's in a
It's a temporary
temporary
position.
appointment that can stay forever?
no, we can remove them tomorrow. We can install them tomorrow and remove them tomorrow.
All right, so you have a temporary replacement that's going to happen tonight after you pass the resolution separating from Scott Morgan, and it can go on into infinity?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
How's that temporary?
Yeah, it sounds like it should be like in a,
Well, Dan
it
just
doesn't
read
sound
the...
right to me.
It could be,
Township administrator serves at the pleasure of the township committee. You could fire, hire, tomorrow, next day, as long as we.
With cause or without cause? Like at the
Without cause.
pleasure
Without
means
cause. The
you
township
can just
adminis-
fire without
The
cause?
township administrator serves at the pleasure of the township committee.
Just like we could fire the solicitor. Without.
But if they're doing a good job for the
That's
township, why would you do
organization.
that? I mean, why would you do that, though?
Multitude of reasons.
It's a management decision. It's,
Okay, I won't belabor the point, I'm surprised.
not every decision we make up here is an easy decision. We try to do things for the betterment of the township.
Okay, and that's what the bottom line should always be, the better of the township, because we're a great township, and I would hate to think that we're
Yes.
kind of have something a little unusual going on that's not transparent and that's not in the best interest of the township.
Sometimes we're not going to discuss personnel issues.
Yeah, and I get that, and I don't want to know the personnel issues, just want to publicly go on record as saying that that I'm disappointed in representing the association, and I'll look for that posting.
Well, Scott has done a great job representing organizations, putting our message forward, and I hope anyone that replaces him or moves into a position like that, any township employee would do the best they can to help a citizen or an organization based in our township.
And I hope that you find someone within the township, within the current status of an employee, or within our community, because I think it's important that the person working with the township and directing the departments and having a say in our budget and things like that is a local township person. And I think there's plenty of us out there qualified to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my driver, my resident, but more so, I support people that are from family, financially, voting, family lives, and so I'm not gonna come here and say, oh, why didn't the former administrator, you guys make that decision, but I would say it's me on my own personal. I hired Derek, and I fired Derek. And there is things in my Bible, and have some things that don't go great detail, that I can, all I can do is do substantially better. I feel personally, knowing this man, he will hurt this township. He will hurt every one of you guys. He will make you guys look bad. I support you guys, I'm supporting you guys. But I'm gonna say, supporting you guys, please seriously consider this point of this man. He, in my opinion, knows no good. He, in my opinion, should be locked up. He's done things to me personally, and I am. That I had worked, being an ex-police officer that was hired from the city of Waterloo. He's very careful about covering tracks. And I personally wish that this man was locked up. He's walking out, he actually knows.
No, he's walking out because he's taking his son out to save his life.
So yeah, I hired him. And I don't want to see this man make a mistake. I'm saying seriously, to appoint a temporary administrator, please give it consideration. And look at this man's track record. Look lawsuits, look at everything that's done. Talk to the police and say, why? Yeah. I mean, as quickly as he voted out. And he's now he's been the first person that the least amount of any votes, any sense. He's not good at this township. And I hope having my wife works for the young township board, being someone that supports you, that hey, look,
Jack Griffin from Marmora. I just wanted to make a few comments. So, again, former teacher, whatever the situation with Scott Morgan, one thing I can say about Scott, every meeting he had a smile on his face. He was easy to approach about things. It was a pleasure working with him. You know, when you're a teacher, there's obviously standards that you have and you have to go by, and there's a checklist. I keep talking about this checklist of things, even in reference to like the Fall Festival. We talked about what may have been better, but there was no list to go forward to the next year. You know, it's like we kind of keep talking about the same thing. So again, it's a personnel thing. I understand that. What this gentleman just said, I understand that, but you know, it seems to me that there's more to this that you're hearing from the public that has to do with something else greater than what we see in front of us. And I'm afraid that it's a political thing that continues to happen in a very short period of time, that we're just trying to live together. You heard what Barbara said, Barbara Leary. We're trying to live together as a community. It's not political. We've all tried to be in our offices, but I'm okay. Let's work together and make this right.
I don't think anybody sitting up here is trying to divide or alienate anybody in this community. I think we're all working together for the better goal of our community.
Mayor, I truly believe that in all hearts of hearts, you are one of the ones that would like to continue to keep the community together. But I also truly believe there's a plan somewhere else outside of this room that's trying to be implemented that's not coming from committee. And I'm afraid of that. And the second thing is, like, being the former president of the Upper Township Business Association, we spent many days, nights talking about supporting Upper Township business, supporting the residents of Upper Township. You have to hear what they're saying. It's the truth. Blanche was saying because of the fact that you didn't post it. Nothing is posted, so you don't even know what kind of people are in the community that can help and know us and want to be all as one. So even if I don't know this gentleman, I feel bad that he had to hear anything, but if it's the truth, I don't know what to say. But I did Google his name, and there were a lot of terrible things that came up that may have been pushed aside now or expunged, I don't know. But it does seem to me that this community deserves better, even if it's something that you want to do within the party. We just deserve better. If there's going to be a change, we'll accept it. But let's get the right people in the right place for the right reasons. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who has public comment?
Hi, my name is Janet McMahon. I live on Oak Street here in Marmora, and I'm really prior to the pandemic, I had stated my concern about the traffic and the speed limits on Tuckahoe Road because of the new 55 or older community going up. Now my concerns are still the same because there's a new housing development being built right on the corner of Church and Tuckahoe Road, where I think they're building 8 to 12 houses, and that's actually moving forward much faster than the 55 or older community. But my concern is about the traffic. I understand it's a county road and that you have to go to the county. I did contact somebody at the county, and I was told there has to first be a study, then there's got to be the county has to get approved by the state. So all of this takes a lot of time and it will cost a lot of money. But we just had another fatal accident on that road on April 2nd. And I would like to just urge the township to put some pressure on the county to do the study or to see what has to be done to either reduce the speed limit on Tuckahoe Road, particularly around that corner between Church and Butter, put in one of those flashing lights that tell people what their speed is, or put in a signal at the corner of Church and Tuckahoe Road to force people to slow down. It's devastating. But I believe you need to contact Robert Church at the county. He's the engineers department. and I just really would like to see that happen. Something even as far as the flashing light or the reduction of the speed, because it's going to take a long time to get
Maybe some
anything
rumble
approved for an
strips or
actual signal. Excuse me.
Rumble strips or something of that nature might work too. We have done resolutions in the past, and I'm gonna actually ask our engineer and our municipal council here if we can get a resolution on our next meeting. Specifically for that stretch of road, because it is a bad stretch of road, and there's,
Have we done, do you recall, Paul?
It's been a while.
I don't think,
There was a person closer up towards Marmora that was concerned.
Yeah.
And they did some studies there, not in this area.
not in that area.
well, maybe,
We can get some milepost information in the clerk's office.
and, I mean, every idea you brought up was a good one. I mean, maybe a controlled intersection at Butter Road, maybe, even the Tyler Road, a controlled intersection was slowed down. I mean, that's been a problem too, so, I mean, let's have them study from Tyler Road all the way to Butter Road. Church Road, yes. If we could stop the traffic at Tyler Road so people could pull, I mean, I don't know what the answer is there. I mean, pulling out of there in the summer, you take your life away. Tyler Road, so it might be, I would say from the creek all the way to Butter Church Road.
That stretch of road for 40 or 50 years has been the scene of multiple car accidents, multiple fatalities.
So then the township needs to put some pressure on the county to do something.
At one point, the county was trying to straighten that road out. I do know that. I do know they were trying to straighten the road out. At one point. They had put the public transports down the middle, crossing over. They have made some improvements to the road, to the center of it. You know, I'm not saying that that's the end all. But some of the things that you suggest, that you point out are exactly true, and it probably needs to, you know, unfortunately, what you have to do is do studies. And, because it's not our road, and we don't have the budgetary money to do it. They are due to pave church road.
That would be nice. It's a disaster.
They're due to do that, reconstruct a paved church road. In fact, that's supposed to happen this year. When it's going to happen. It's supposed to happen this year.
What would be the follow-up to find out that something's actually going to be communicated to the county to see what could be the next step to either put in a flashing light, reduce the speed, or actually put in an intersection? Like, what would I be able to follow up on to do that?
Well, we will-
So I know that something's
We
happening.
will have a resolution at our next meeting. Rest assured of that. We adopt it, we send it to the county. The county freeholders will probably bring it up 2 weeks later at their meeting. They'll kick it to their engineer. So it'll be highlighted with Bob Church. Bob Church will probably call Paul Dietrich. And they'll probably,
Right back to the bureaucracy.
if you would like to be kept in email loop on what's happening with this, if you reach out to Paul Dietrich, he can get you in an email loop and he can keep you informed.
You could also possibly start an email campaign to the county commissioners. I believe Commissioner Voorhees is currently in charge of roads. He may be a good person for you to direct them to.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else from the public? Hearing no more, no further public information or comments, we'll entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters of contract negotiations are Adams, Raymond, and Hagan for tax map maintenance services. Shared services with Corbin City for municipal court services. Life insurance and Cero IT services. CASA reporting services and CASA payroll services. Personnel, contract negotiation for Block 296, Lot 2. Potential litigation for Cape May County Agricultural Development Board. Contract negotiation for municipal solicitor, special legal counsel, and township administrator. I also include in my motion the estimated time and circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public Upon the determination of the Township Committee, public interest will no longer be served with such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality. With respect to litigation matters, such discussions will be made public when litigation is complete and the applicable appeal period has expired.
I'll second that motion.
Please call the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Newman?
Yes.
Mr. Pink?
Yes.
Mayor Corson?
Yes. We're going to take a brief intermission, so my colleagues can stretch your legs.
Yes.